In 2026, a lot of websites are using shaders and 3D elements to make their websites feel more premium. Recently, I found a website on Awards that uses a shader transition in a really clean way, and I thought it would be interesting to recreate it and show you the process. So in this video, we are gonna build a similar scroll-based shader transition using threejs and shaders. And the best part is, this effect is completely responsive and reusable, which means you can use it anywhere in your projects with different data. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. First, in my HTML, I'm importing a Google font and also changing the title. You can use any font you prefer, but for this project I am using New. Next, I am creating a header and a footer with some text. And for the shader transition, I am creating a div called GL container. Inside this container, I am adding another div called GL scroller. So that's all for the HTML. Now let's style everything properly. Inside the CSS, I am resetting the default margin and padding, setting box sizing to border box and applying the New font. And I am also setting the HTML and body height and width to 100%. Next, I am styling the header and footer. I am setting their height to 100 VH, centering the content using flexbox and giving them a dark background. Finally, I am styling the heading text. You can style this part in your own way. Next, we are going to style the most important part, so make sure to follow this styling properly, otherwise you might face some issues. First, I am styling the GL container, setting its width to 100% and position to relative. Then I am styling the GL scroller, setting its height to 100 VH, hiding the overflow and adding a dark background, and making it sticky, so it stays in place during the scroll. Next, I am styling the GL and GL inner elements, which we will create later using JS. The GL element is positioned absolutely to cover the entire container. And inside GL inner, I am centering the text using flexbox and adding some basic styling. Alright, our styling is done. And for now, our website looks like this. So now let's jump into the JavaScript and create the actual animation. First, I am importing everything we need for this animation. Then, I am creating an array called sections, where each item contains a text and an image that we will use in this animation. Next, I am selecting the GL container and GL scroller from the DOM. Then, I am declaring a few variables like renderer, camera, scene and mesh, and also creating some variables to manage the textures and the transition state. After that, I am initializing Lenis for smooth scrolling and updating ScrollTrigger on every scroll event. Now comes the most important part, the shaders. The vertex shader is very simple. It just passes the UV coordinates to the fragment shader and handles the basic vertex positioning. The main work happens inside the fragment shader, where we create the transition effect. Here we use a displacement texture to distort the UVs, add a slight scale and RGB shift effect, and finally blend two textures together based on the progress value. Next, I am creating a simple load texture function that returns a promise. Here I am using the three.texture loader to load the texture, setting the wrapping to repeat and then resolving the texture once it's loaded. Next, I am creating a setTextureResolution function. This simply reads the texture width and height and passes it to the shader uniform, so the image can scale properly. After that, I am creating a transition2 function. In the if statement, I am checking if the index is valid, if it is different from the current one, and also making sure that no transition is already running. If any of these conditions fail, I simply update the target index and return. Outside the if statement, I am updating the target index and setting is transitioning to true. Then I am getting the material from the mesh, assigning the next texture to uTexture1 and updating the resolution for the shader. Then I am using GSAP to animate the uProgress uniform from 0 to 1, which drives the shader transition. Once the animation is complete, I update the current texture, reset the progress value, update the current index, and allow the next transition. If the target is still different, I trigger the transition again. Now I'm creating an async init function since we will be loading textures asynchronously. Inside it I'm creating a div called overlay and giving it the class GL. Next I'm looping through the sections array, creating a GL inner div for each item and inserting the text inside it. Then I'm appending everything to the overlay and finally adding the overlay to the GL container. I am also setting the container height based on the number of sections, so we have enough scroll space. After that, I am getting the container width and height. Then I am creating a WebGL renderer, setting its size and pixel ratio and appending it to the container. Next, I am creating an orthographic camera and finally initializing the scene. After that, I am creating a plane geometry that matches the container size. The image transition you see is actually rendered on this plane. Then I am creating a shader material, where I am passing the uniforms like texture, progress, resolution and some parameters to control the strength, RGB shift and scale of the effect. Then I am creating a mesh using the geometry and the shader material and finally adding it to the scene. Now I am creating a try-catch block and inside the try block I am loading all the section textures along with the displacement texture using promise.all. This way all the textures load in parallel. After the textures are loaded, I am storing them in a textures array. Then I am assigning the first texture to both uTexture0 and 1, setting the displacement texture and finally updating the texture resolution for the shader. Then I am creating a scroll trigger for the container. As the user scrolls, I am calculating the progress and converting it into an index. And based on that index, I trigger the transition to function to switch between the textures. And in the catch block, I am simply logging the error in case something goes wrong during the initialization. Next, I am creating a render function. Here I am updating Lenis on every frame, rendering the scene with the camera and then calling request animation frame to keep the loop running. Lastly, I am creating an onResize function. Here I am updating the renderer size, adjusting the camera projection, recreating the plane geometry based on the new width and height, updating the resolution uniform and finally updating the scroll trigger. And finally I am calling the init function, starting the render loop with request animation frame and adding a resize event listener to handle the window resizing. And finally our animation is completely done. If you think this video deserves a like, make sure to leave one. And as always, I will see you next Sunday with a new video.